Well, hello there everyone, and welcome finally to another episode here on the Shamblecraft server. And as you can probably tell from my voice still, I haven't really functioned for the last couple of weeks. In fact, it's been nearly 2.5 weeks since I was able to do any recording or streaming from here. And the reason for that is that I got really sick with a properly strong cold. And having talked to a bunch of people, including my doctor, we are pretty much in agreement that it is quite likely that what I had was indeed COVID. So I have been pretty out of it for the last 2 weeks, but I am finally back running about in the cave here. There might be some coughs and squeaks still, but we are doing better. And today we are going to be moving on to a project that has sort of been on the list for a while, but where we've sort of reached the point where this is starting to become quite critical. And that is, we need to start working on our storage. So if I jump down here, you will see that I have been making merry with some magenta wool to sort of mark off a couple of things. And you might remember the first floor up there where we have like our main base type thing. You have the second floor here where we have the skeleton killing platform. We have the zombie killing station. We have the little storage here. We of course have the villagers up on the top floor. Since last time, Sammy has also added a cactus farm, so that's new. You haven't seen that before. And I have also, as I said, been making merry with some pink wool here to sort of showcase where we're going to be doing things. So I have made a staircase here, sort of to show that this is where we're going to be building a staircase. And in the middle here, I've sort of drawn a little shape here, sort of to try and figure out what is a sensible middle. Because this is where we are going to be doing the storage system, and that is actually the main project for today. Because as you might remember from the previous episode that was actually recorded a while ago now, I'm actually gonna hop down there. Down here in the basement, we have constructed a slime farm and an iron farm. I'm pressing C because I want to zoom, but I don't have Optifine yet. And we can actually see Sammy here working on the oxidization of some copper. So I'm just going to let Sammy do that. But yeah, we have this lovely little iron farm here that is producing, I dare say, a decent amount of iron. I know that Sammy has been down here emptying it out now and then. And we also have this slime farm that I actually haven't looked at for a while, that does produce a decent amount of slime. So yeah, you can see we are nearly at let's skip about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, almost 14 stacks of slime blocks and about 18 or 20 stacks of slime balls. So we have plenty of slime that should keep us safe for a while. So we're now going to observe Sammy here. Let's see if Sammy notices that we're here. No, the Sammy is quite focused on the counting. There we go. Sammy has noticed us. But yeah, moving on, we are going to, as I said, be working up top. So why don't we fly back up here? That went well. Why don't we climb back up here and get to the spot where we're going to be working? So we are going to be building up a storage system, and we're going to be basically following the same storage system design that we have used before, with water streams and droppers and yeah, the usual thing. We're going to be following the same design that we always do because it is a tried and true method that works well, and the plan is to sort of integrate it into the cave here, which means that we're probably going to have to do a little bit of terraforming to sort of make this look natural, because I also want this staircase to sort of flow naturally into it. But yeah, that is it, and yeah, this is what we're going to be working with. Once again, apologies for this episode taking ages to come out, But as I said in a couple of minutes ago, I have been quite sick for 2 weeks. But yeah, why don't we hit that merry little record button and start working on clearing out the space that we need for the storage hall, and we can get started on our storage system. Well, okay then, viewers, that is most of the rough digging done, and we are back up top here, where, as you can see, we have a cowther. Yes, a cowther. And what we have next to it is a chest that says, use what you need, put the rest back here so I can find it. And these are actually supplies that have been graciously donated by Sammy. Thank you very much, Sammy. I say donated, I mean, this is also Sammy's, so don't know if donate is the right word, but Sammy has anyway at least provided materials that we need, and that is going to be very, very helpful. And what we're going to start with is putting in all the chests, because as you can see, we have now dug out these chambers behind each of the 4 walls here, and we are going to start putting in some chests, just basically to show or sort of mark off where we want the various modules to be. And once again, as I said in the intro, sorry for my voice being a little bit rough. So let's start by placing in chests. I know that I had 128, which means that I will now know roughly how many we've put in, just to see how many slots we have. And the previous storage systems I've built, such as the one we did for Season 1, I think it had 72 slots. I think 72 slots is what we had for Season 1. But this is definitely going to be bigger. This is going to be a fairly massive storage system that should hopefully have more than enough space for anything we could possibly think of fitting in here. So we can see that we've basically used a stack already. So we're going to keep going all the way around. And there we go. And that is, with 22 left, and also broke 2, meaning I had 130, and I have 22 left, meaning we placed 108 chests. So that is 108 slots, which is not bad at all. Thank you very much, Sammy, providing all the chests here. So that is 100. That means we have 108 slots, which is, well, it is definitely more than 72, which is what I think we had last season. So basically what we need to figure out now is what do we want and where do we want it. So if we go over here, you will see that I have dug a hole. So this hole goes all the way up to the top floor, and the plan is that up there we're going to do a little dumping station right next to the nether portal, where you can put your items into a chest, or you can put a shulker box, and it will drop all of the things, deposit it into a stream, and that will go all around this entire storage system. So that sort of means that we should be using some sort of logic in terms of, well, what's going to go where in terms of speed and everything. The big question is, of course, do we want to use water streams or do we want to use hoppers? Because I think if we do what we did for this for the slime farm and use hoppers with furnaces on top of them, that shouldn't be too bad in terms of lag. Because the issue I have seen with the water stream is that sometimes items go past. So we're definitely going to have to sort of put all the options into the mix here as we try to figure it out. But what we do know, of course, is that the ends over here are going to be overflow. So if we decide that, for instance, these 3 are going to be overflow, that's going to leave us with 105 slots, which means that we need 105 storage modules, which is going to take a while to craft up. It's going to take a while to place the chests. I mean, I did do some math for this earlier for Sammy, and what we basically figured out is that for each module we are going to need pretty much 9 chests, 6 hoppers, 1 repeater, 1 comparator, and 3 redstone. So that means that we are going to be needing close to 1,000 chests in total. We're going to be needing more than 600 hoppers. We're going to need a stack and a half of repeaters, a stack and a half of comparators, and a solid 4-5 stacks of redstone. So this, as you can tell, viewers, is quite a hefty system. I mean, when I say quite a hefty system, I mean, well, please don't go look at making this a system, because then this is going to look tiny. But yeah, this is going to be quite the storage. That is going to take some time in terms of getting the resources in. But I think it's going to be well worth it. So I think without further ado, the next thing to do is basically to try and get all the resources that we need and get cracking on putting all the redstone in for the system. Well, okay then, viewers, we are back here in the cave, and as you could probably tell from that time lapse, we have done some progress. So if I now jump down here, you will see that we now have actually all the chests set up with a set of stairs above it, meaning we can now open all the various chests here and see what's inside. But so far nothing inside, because that is going to be the next step. But if I go in here, you will see that all of the modules actually have all the redstone in. So if I climb up here, you will see we have all the hoppers, all the comparators, all the redstone torches and repeaters and everything, meaning that we now have 108 fully functioning storage modules. All we need to do now is add the transport system and the item filter. So that is basically the main bit that remains. And that is something where I haven't done it yet, simply because I haven't settled 100% on how I want to do it. Do I want to do this with water transport? Do I want to do this with hoppers? I haven't really decided fully. We are probably going to go with the water, because it produces the least amount of lag, but nothing is set in stone yet, so we'll have to see what we end up doing. But that is a lot of it taken care of. Added a little door here to get into the back, and what we've also done is a little tinkering with this waterfall here. So you might remember there was a waterfall coming down, and that is something that we actually decided that we want to keep. Sammy especially, big fan of the waterfall. So what I've done is that I have carefully, using, well, the various tools at my disposal, been pushing the waterfall out a bit, to which we've gotten to the point where we now have the waterfall all the way out here, which means we can now walk underneath the waterfall and access storage underneath it, which I think is a really, really cool feature. So, yeah, a lot of work done. It has taken a little bit of time, but we are definitely getting there with the storage system. And hopefully, before the end of this episode, we can finish the storage system itself. Probably not going to have every single module up and running, but what I would love to do is to at least get somewhat of an overview as to what we want to put in the different slots, and yeah, the sort of the most general decorations, because we really want this cave to look nice. So there's going to be a lovely staircase going down here. Gonna have to do some tinkering with that, and then we're going to have to do a little bit of terraforming around the edge of it to make it look organic. But yeah, so far I would say this looks pretty good. So what I have done is I have made a Google sheet where I've put in all the 108 modules, and I've now sent that to Sammy, so that Sammy can give some input as to what she thinks we should put in the storage system, because after all, this is, as you probably know, a shared base between me and Sammy. But so that's probably going to take a little while for us to figure out. But while we wait for the sort of the Google sheet and me to figure out exactly how to do the last fiddly redstone bits, what I want to do, I want to very quickly pop over to the spawn area and show you something we made a couple of days ago. Well, okay then, viewers, you join me here on the roof of the Pathfinders Guild, but the Pathfinders Guild is not why we are here. We are here because of the thing behind me. Yes, and what we have behind me is the Trans Lifeline Tower that was constructed by me and NJ to commemorate a very special thing that we did here this month. And that is that as part of a fundraising campaign organised by Team SideQuest, we raised $750 for the organisation Trans Lifeline. So first of all, thank you very much to everyone who donated. We really appreciate it. You did a great job getting us to $750 and gave us a great excuse to build this amazing looking tower that will be here on the Season 2 server forever and ever to commemorate the great things that we did. Of course, this came at a price, with a couple of milestones that we had during this. First of all, at $250, I had to eat an entire lemon. Phali, add a clip of the suffering. Hell, I don't want to do this. Charity.
En ga je zijn meer voet bij het no. It was anything like this, I don't fuck. I try to tell myself it's just an orange. It's just an orange. Oh. Oh. I just had a burp that was like 50% super spicy kimchi Korean ramen, and the other 50% was lemon. think I just met Jesus.
Yes, that was as painful as it looked. For the other milestone at 500, I have to do a cat-made ooh-woo style Shamblecraft episode. Boy, am I looking forward to that. And also, NJ has to do hardcore with only iron tools and a diamond hoe, for reasons. In addition to that, with the final milestone of $750, me and NJ have to do 119 hardcore and go looking for the warden. Devil Bats, you picked a bad time. I'm going to go in here. There we go. Much better. But yeah, thank you very, very much everyone who donated. And there's really only one thing that remains for us to do. And that is... Can we do that again? Boing. Who needs a zoom key when you have this? The only thing that remains, viewers, this is uncomfortably close. The only thing that remains now is to put up the signs commemorating all the amazing people who donated. And we're going to do that right now. We're going to head down into the basement here, where, as you can see, NJ has already placed the signs. So all we have to do now is put all of them in. And I'm going to do that real quickly, and I'll get back to you. And just like that, viewers, we have all the signs in commemorating all the lovely, lovely people who donated. So from left to right, Anonymous with a $1.69 donation, Altezi with a $50 donation, Adrian Sartre with a donation of $12.59, Nuke Nike with a donation of $10, Yergs with a donation of $17.41, Greyheart with a donation of $20, Altezi with another $40 donation, a whooping $200 anonymous donation, another anonymous donation for $25 and another one for $10, Jessica with a donation of $20, Case Walker with a donation of $50, Billy with a donation of $10, another anonymous donation of $15, anonymous donation of $20, Professor Maple 1 donating $20, Tokyo-chan 56 donating $25, Socks of Doom with a whooping $150, Artesi with yet another donation of $30, and finally yours truly with a $25 donation, bringing the total to $751.69 that goes straight to Trans Lifeline in cooperation with Team SideQuest. So thank you very, very much once again, everyone who donated. And with that taken care of, why don't we head back to our base and keep working on the storage system? Well, okay then, we are back here at the base and we are ready to continue working on the storage system. So the last time I left you, we had put in all the chests and most of the redstone, and what really remains now is the transport system. So next on the list, what we need to do is put all of the ice paths all around down there, and we also need to set up a dropper system. And I was thinking right here should line up pretty well with below. So I've dug it out a bit, I've started doing a little bit of decorating, and the next part now is to make the actual dropper. And what I've done is I've gathered up all the materials we need to get this working. And yeah, I don't think it really needs that much more of an introduction. Hopefully the next time you see me after a brief time lapse, we will be ready to showcase the complete item transport system, and hopefully we are getting closer to a finished storage system. Well, alrighty then, viewers, you join me once again here atop the magenta wool, and I am happy to report that things are well underway. So let me show you what we have done. So starting downstairs, we have done a lot of work. Sadly, I can tell right away, as you probably could tell, time lapse of this last bit of work didn't really work because, well, you know how I feel about replay mod at this point. But what we have been able to do is install all the redstone. I showed you most of this in the last clip, but what we have also done now is install the water stream. So we now have the water stream going all the way. It starts right here, and I'm actually going to show you some bits there in just a few minutes. But we've now started putting in some blocks signifying what's going to be where. So what you can tell here, it's going to be 3 modules of cobblestone, 3 of stone, 3 of deep slate, 3 of cobble deep slate, then 1 each andesite, granite, diorite, calcite, tuff, stone bricks, deep slate bricks, 2 of netherrack, 1 nether brick, 1 red nether brick, soul sand, soul soil, basalt, black stone, dirt, sand, grass. I had to do a little cheeky bit there so the grass doesn't despawn. Gravel, coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and podzol in the middle, moss, and bone block. And that's basically most of what I've placed in. I've also put in the wood, but the rest I haven't put in yet simply because we haven't settled on everything, and we also didn't have blocks of everything. So a lot of these I don't even have enough blocks to get the item filters ready. But this is the main part, and the thought is sort of to have most of this being blocks, and then we're going to have more of like the valuable stuff over here on this end. And this is also where we have put in the overflow chests, which is going to be basically everything that isn't picked up by any of it is going to go into this. And for these ones here, I'm thinking maybe apologies. For these ones, I'm thinking maybe I'll end up doing some manual sorting for maybe tools and armor and that sort of thing. But Phali, how do you get things into this system? You see, I've been working with that as well. So if I where's my rockets? There we go. If I very swiftly fly up here into a tree, we head over here to our nether portal, you will see that I've actually added a little section in the corner here. And this consists of 2 things. First of all, it consists of this chest right here. A double chest that goes into a dropper feeder, or whatever you want to call it, that then drops items straight into a chute and into the water stream. Over here we have another one for shulker boxes, but we've added another cool little feature to it, and that is underneath here there's some redstone going on that will actually filter out the shulker boxes, so that you place a shulker box here, gets emptied out, you press that button, it pushes the shulker box, and the shulker box gets automatically filtered into this chest right here. And this here is basically spare parts. So with that, what we can do, like when we're going to be clearing out this temporary section here, we can just carry it all over here, and whatever we have in shulker boxes, we can just put the shulker box straight onto there, and it will filter it out. And for the redstone itself for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a screenshot on the screen right now, so you can pause if you want. Well, you know what, maybe I'll even put a little video. You know what, I'll put a little video. So right now you can see on the screen a video that I filmed briefly on Plot World, showing the design of the sort of shulker sort of thing. Thank you very much, Mickness, for the design for that. And the dropper thing that I'm doing is basically the same as we did for the zombie storage or zombie skeleton farm storage in a previous video, so you can find that there. But that is actually a pretty good start to the storage system. What really remains now for the storage system, we have a couple of bits that remain. 3 really big things. First of all, we need to put in all the item filters. Secondly, we need to decide what goes in every single module. And thirdly, and probably the biggest job, is to do the decorations. And that is something that me and Sami are going to be collaborating on. So yeah, that is pretty much what remains. But I am very happy with what we have been able to do in this episode. And that is, I think, a very natural point for me to end this particular episode. So first of all, thank you very, very much to everyone for being patient with me as I recovered from COVID. I am feeling a lot better now, and I hope that I will be able to continue making videos at the regular pace for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, this is it's a good start. Very happy with what we've done with the storage system in this episode, and hopefully with some luck we can finish the last bits in the next one, or at least hopefully in not too long. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I've got a couple of episodes coming up that I think are going to be really cool. I have a collab upcoming with the folks over in Danville, Norway, Elven Space and Vin, and of course there is the infamous Catmaid episode that is going to have to be coming sooner or later, and also an episode that will actually deal a little bit with things that have been going on the server for some time now. There's going to be a bit of a different one. But yeah, that is enough rambling for me. Thank you very much for watching the episode, and yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.